WordPress is estimated to account for roughly 25% of all websites online today. With page rules, you can customize Cloudflare to take the performance, security, and reliability of your WordPress website to the next level. With SSL, your WordPress website not only benefits from increased security, but you also get the performance benefits of HTTP2 and server push, potential SEO ranking boost, and increased customer confidence through a little green lock. While setting the SSL option within the crypto section of Cloudflare enables your WordPress website to take advantage of SSL, Page Rules allows you to enforce that all visitors connect to your domain securely. With SSL enabled, create a page rule for HTTP that includes an asterisk before and after your domain, and select Add a setting, always use HTTPS. This pattern that includes HTTP with an asterisk before and after your domain ensures that any subdomains, directories, or query strings referencing your URL will be forced over HTTPS. Keep in mind that this option should generally be the first rule in your set. Unless you have a special case, be sure to reorder this rule to appear at the top of your page rules. To avoid duplicate content penalties that can dilute your search engine ranking, Page Rules allows you to define a canonical version of your domain with 301 forwarding. If you want to define the root as the canonical version of your domain, create a page rule that includes the following. Add your domain excluding the protocol scheme, which will cover both HTTP and HTTPS. The forwarding URL setting is selected to 301 permanent redirect. From an SEO standpoint, 301 redirects will pass the ranking power to the redirected page. You'll notice that my destination URL includes a secure protocol scheme, and I'm using a $1 for the directory to match the asterisks in the URL pattern. One corresponds to the first asterisk in the URL string from left to right. If I had an asterisk before the domain and wanted to match it, I would use $2 instead of 1. Once I hit save and deploy, my URL will redirect accordingly. With page rules, you could redirect URLs in a number of ways, both internally and externally. In these two examples, I'm using 301 permanent redirects to create a user-friendly URL for a page that shows search results for a blog post category. Using a 302 temporary redirect, in the following three examples, I'm using my domain to redirect to various social media properties. Certain sections of WordPress, like the WP login page and the WP admin section, have different security and performance requirements than your public-facing pages. To properly target my login page, I'm using an asterisk at the end of the URL pattern to make sure that the rule is triggered even when a query string is appended at the end of the URL. To increase security, I've set the security level to high. Security level controls how high a client threat score must be before the client encounters a challenge page. Threat scores are derived from our IP reputation database and assigned to clients when they attempt to connect to a resource on your domain. In the next example, I'm using an asterisk without the / for the WP admin area. This means I'm not only targeting WP admin, but I'm also including any subdirectories and query strings as well. To increase security, I've set the security level to high. To ensure smooth operations within my admin area, I've set cache level to bypass so Cloudflare will not cache any of the content within this section. I've also disabled any app and performance settings that may conflict with some of the unique functionality within this area. Hackers have been known to use the XML RPC function in WordPress for botnet and brute force attacks. A layered defense strategy against this vulnerability includes disabling trackbacks and pingback within the discussion options and modifying your htaccess file to block access to your XML rpc.php file. A 301 forwarding rule within page rules allows you to apply an additional layer of protection by forwarding any request to XML rpc.php to a destination of your choice. By default, Cloudflare caches the most popular types of static assets. With page rules, you can access advanced caching options that allow you to significantly reduce how much bandwidth your server uses. In this example, I'm targeting all of the content in my uploads area. Edge Cache TTL instructs Cloudflare how often to request new content from your server. Since items in my Uploads folder will rarely change, I've set a very long Edge Cache TTL of a month. This means Cloudflare will only request a fresh copy of this asset from my server after an entire month has passed. If a resource were to change in this area and I wanted to force a refresh before the TTL time, the Purge Cache feature in the caching section of the dashboard gives me the ability to force the refresh of a specific file or directory. Browser Cache TTL instructs the user's browser how often he should attempt to request new content from Cloudflare's Edge. In general, 4 hours is a good default setting. In this example, I've set the TTL for an entire day since I'm not worried about the contents changing frequently. There may be certain areas on your domain that are absolutely critical to your organization. For these types of pages, I want to make sure that they're always available, regardless of what's going on with my server. For these sort of pages, I've applied the following rules. By enabling Always Online, Cloudflare will serve pages from cache so visitors will still see the content regardless if the origin server were to go down. Browser Cache TTL has been set to 1 day. Since my pages are heavily reliant on static content, the cache level is set to cache everything to make sure that all of the content, including the HTML, is preserved in cache. Finally, I set an aggressive Edge Cache TTL to a month. To avoid email harvesters and bots from adding my email to their spam lists, I've enabled email obfuscation on my public-facing pages that include an email address. With email obfuscation enabled, email addresses on your web page will be encrypted for bots while keeping them visible to humans. In this video, you learn how Page Rules allows you to leverage Cloudflare's powerful performance and security features to optimize your WordPress website. Need more rules? Cloudflare now offers the ability to purchase additional page rules a la carte. Be sure to visit the Page Rules section of your dashboard so you can optimize Cloudflare for your domain.